Hello students, in the plants of the Anthocyrus, we have already studied about the occurrence, vegetative structures including the external features, internal structure, reproduction, and in case of the reproduction, we have studied the vegetative reproductions, and in case of the sexual reproduction, up to the antheridia. Today we will study about the archegonia and sporophyte. Archegonia, the archegonia are embedded on the dorsal surface of thallus, that is this, and the archegonia are arranged in acropetal succession. In this case, the archegonial chambers are absent. They are usually found close to the growing point. Externally, a mature archegonium is marked by a mucilaginous mound which appears funnel shaped. That is, this is the funnel shaped. The mature archegonium is embedded on the dorsal surface. It is flask shaped body consisting of a venter and a neck, that is the venter and this is the neck. The cells of venter and neck are in direct continuation with the vegetative cells of thallus. This is the vegetative cells. The cover cells project above, that is this is the cover cells. This is the cover cells which are projected above the surface and which are 2 or 4 in number. The archegonium contains 4 to 6 neck canal cells, that is this is the neck canal cells in number 4 to 6 neck canal cells, a venter cell, that is a venter cell, and a egg, this is the egg. At maturity, the neck canal cell and venter canal cell disintegrates and become mucilaginous. The cover cells also disintegrates and produce the mucilage. The mucilage is filled in the archegonial cavity and also forms a mound at the opening of archegonium, that is this opening of archegonium, this. Next, that is the fertilization. Presence of water is necessary for the fertilization. The anthrozoids liberated from antheridium swim in the film of water and move about in all directions. Some of the anthrozoids come across the mature archegonium, and the mature archegonium is characterized by the presence of mucilaginous mound at the apex. The anthrozoids pass through the mucilage and enter the wide open canal of archegonium, that is wide open canal of archegonium. Single anthrozoids fuses with the egg to form a diploid zygote, and the gametophytic generation of this plant ends with the formation of the zygote. Next, that is the sporophytes. The diploid zygote is the first cell of gametophytic generation. It enlarges in size and secretes its own cell wall. Students, here you see this. Here you see this. That is this. It starts germinating without a resting period while enclosed within the archegonium and develop a sporophytic plant body called the sporogonium. That is the sporogonium. Several zygotes may be formed in the same thallus but in separate archegonia, and they all can give rise to mature sporogonia. Therefore, the cluster of long, elongated, and erect archegonia can be observed arising from the same thallus. They are produced usually in the month of September and October. The sporogonia of Anthosauros occur in clusters on the dorsal surface of thallus. They are rod-shaped, elongated, straight, or slightly curved, erect, and look like horns. Hence, the plants are popularly known as hornworts. Students, you see the first slide, that is hornworts. That is these. These are the sporogonium. So they are look like the horns. So they are termed as the hornworts. The basal portion of sporogonium is enclosed within the involucre. That is the involucre, formed by the gametophytic tissue of thallus. Each sporogonium is mainly differentiated into two parts. First, that is foot, and second is the capsule. That is the foot, and second is the capsule. The foot is bulbous, that is bulbous, inverted, cup-shaped, and embedded in the gametophytic tissue of the thallus, and directly on the dorsal side. It consists of irregularly arranged parenchymatous cells. This is this. The lower superficial cells. This is this. The lower superficial cells of foot, which are in close contact with the gametophyte, are elongated and arranged palisade-like. In some species of the Anthosauros, they grow out into short rhizoid-like process and penetrate into the gametophytic tissue. This process acts as host area to absorb the nutrition and water. The main function of the foot is to fix the elongated capsule to the thallus and absorbs water and nutrients from it, thallus. The intercalary meristematic, that is, this is the intercalary meristematic zone. Just above the foot at the base of the capsule lies an intercalary meristematic zone. This zone may be regarded as a short seta, means seta के equivalent. The cells of this zone continuously divide and add new cells to the upper side in the capsule. The capsule thus grows constantly, जिसकी वजह से जो कैप्सूल है वो लगातार ग्रो करता रहता है, and a longer period by the activity of the basal meristem. Due to the activity of basal meristem, all the differential stages can be seen in the same capsule, that is this same capsule. Next, capsule. The capsule is long, consists of several layers in its longitudinal plane, that is this is the capsule. It shows three clear cut zones. कौन कौन से? वॉल ऑफ कैप्सूल जिसको एपिडर्मिस कहा, आर्किस्पोरियम जिसको स्पोर सैक कहा, दिस इज द आर दिस, एंड इन द सेंटर के अंदर कोलोमेला है. द फर्स्ट वॉल ऑफ कैप्सूल. At the extreme base of capsule, the wall is single layered. Starting में it is single layered, but it becomes multi layered in the mature region. कि जो ही हम mature region की तरफ जाएंगे, इसकी जो walls हैं वो multi layered में convert हो जाती है. The wall consists of 4 to 6 layers. Outermost layer forms epidermis, consisting of vertically elongated cells. The outer surface of epidermis is coated with thick cuticle at places. Thick cuticle at places. The epidermis is enwrapped by stomata. Epidermis by stomata. Each stoma consists of a stomatal pore, which is guarded by two kidney-shaped guard cells, and these guard cells are similar to those of higher plants and help in exchange of gases and loss of the water vapors through the by the process of the transpiration. The wall layers within the epidermis consist of large elongated chloroenchymatous, means passages the chloroplasts with intercellular species. All the cells of the wall of capsule possess single chloroplasts, nucleus, and pyrenoids. So they are thus green and photosynthetic. Next, that is the archisporium, sporogenous tissue or spore sac. That is this. This zone is situated in between the wall of capsule and columella. It originates from the inner layer of epithelium. In young condition, this zone is single-layered archisporium, consisting of small cells with dense protoplasm, जो हम नीचे की तरफ देख सकते हैं. It arises directly from the intercalary meristem. The archisporium may remain single-layered throughout and differentiates into sporogenous tissue in the some species, example Anthoceros erectus, or may become two-layered sporogenous tissue as in case of most of the species. Rarely it may become 3 or 4 celled thick. The sporogenous tissue higher up in the कैप्सूल, जो ऊपर की तरफ हम चलते हैं कैप्सूल के अपर साइड में, मैच्योर की साइड में, shows two types of the cells, large spore mother cell and smaller elongated pseudo-elater mother cells. Both types of cells are arranged regularly. Still a higher level, और हम और उसके ऊपर चलते हैं तो this zone shows characteristic spore tetrads and pseudo-elaters. Some of the spores may lie free in the spore sac. कुछ means they lie free in the spore sac. The spore tetrad consists of 4 haploid spores arranged tetrahedrally. The pseudo-elaters are 2 to 3 celled, elongated, branched or unbranched, and are sterile structures. They lack spiral thickenings, but shows the function of, या shows the nature of hygroscopic. जो सूडो इलेटर्स है सूडो इलेटर्स का जो स्ट्रक्चर्स है आर सिमिलर टू इलेटर्स in their origin and function but differ in their structures. Therefore, these structures are called the pseudoletters. Next, go to the columella. जो एक columella बीच में है, center में है, that is columella. This is the columella. The center of capsule is occupied by strial capsule. It originates from endothecium. Columella is four-celled at the base, that is four-celled at the base, and later on becomes 16-celled. Columella consists of narrow, vertically elongated cells, and the cells of the columella having uniformly thickened walls. It extends from the base right through the center of capsule and ends a little behind the apex. Apex से just पहले ये इसका एंड हो जाता है. The columella provides mechanical support to the delicate capsule. कैप्सूल को वो मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट मीन्स खड़ा करे रखता है, स्टैंड किए हुए रखता है. It also helps in the conduction of water and minerals. Dehiscence of capsule and liberation of spores starts as soon as they begin to mature. जैसे ही वो मैच्योर या राइपन होते हैं तो कैप्सूल का डिहिसेंस होना एंड लाइब्रेशन ऑफ स्पोर्स, स्पोर का लाइब्रेशन होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. द एपिकल पोर्शन ऑफ कैप्सूल ripen first, that is ripen first, and loses water. Consequently, the color of the capsule changes from green to brown or black. The wall of the capsule, कि कैप्सूल की जो वाल है, bears two line of dehiscence, that is line of dehiscence, which starts from near the tip and gradually extends downward, नीचे की तरफ. The two lines are situated on the opposite sides of capsule and form the two wall. VALVES walls. Each line of dehiscence consists of two rows. Each line of dehiscence, listen students, each line of dehiscence consists of two rows of thick walled cells having their adjacent thin walls. Next, loss of water from the wall of capsule, कि इसका डिसेंस कैसे होता है, कि loss of water from the wall of the capsule, spores, pseudoelaters and columella, इन सभी से जो वाटर का लॉस होना जिसकी वजह से इनकी जो सेल्स है वो श्रिंक हो जाती है और श्रिंक की वजह से स्लाइड स्प्लिट इन द one of the dehiscence line, slide splits in one of the dehiscence line. The splits, जो ये split होना start होती है dehiscence में, which gradually expands and extends downwards, exposing the spores and pseudo-elaters, दोनों को expose करती है जो कि अंदर है. The pseudoelaters begins to perform twisting movement separating the spores. वो twisting movement perform करता है जिसकी वजह से जो spore tetrad में से spores वो separate हो जाते हैं. Meanwhile, slit appears along the other dehiscence line and the two valves detach. However, the two valves remain joined at the apex, जो apex के ऊपर joint यहाँ देखी जा सकती है. The two valves also dry up and become spirally twisted due to hygroscopic movements. The mature spores begin to shed, shed, through the wide open slit due to the hygroscopic movement of pseudoletters, valves, and columella. The columella remains straight in the center and gives the mechanical strength. The dispersal spores are blown away to some distance by the air. The number of line of descents present in the columella may vary from 1, 2, 3 or 4. Depends on the type of the species. Next, go to the spores. That is the young gametophyte. The haploid spore is the first cell of gametophytic generation. It is tetrahedral in shape. The wall of spore is two-layered. Outer is exine or exospore and inner intine or endospore. The exospore is thick, reticulate and shows spines or papillate-like outgrowth as you seen here. Whereas the endospore is thin and membranous. The color of spore differs in different species. In some species it is yellow, example Anthosauros himalayensis, and in others it is brown to black, example Anthosauros erectus. Each spore contains a single haploid nucleus, that is this, a colorless plastid, oil globules and food reservoirs. The spore of Anthosauros may germinate immediately after the liberation or after a resting period. The spore absorbs water and swells. Its exospore ruptures along the triradiate ridge and endospore comes out in the form of a germ tube, that is this. The protoplasmic contents migrate into the germ tube and the colorless plastid turns green. The apical end of the germ tube divided by two successive transverse divisions. Listen students, divides by two successive transverse divisions, resulting in the formation of a three-celled filaments, that is this. The terminal two cells of filament divide by vertical walls, forming four cells. The next division is again vertical but at right angle to the first, resulted in the formation of 8-celled octant. Further growth occurs by the establishment of apical meristem, that is this. That is establishment of apical meristem consisting of 4 to 5 apical cells. First rhizoid appears, that is this, from the young thallus by the elongation of a basal cell. The young thallus grows by the activity of growing point. A mucilaginous slit is formed on the ventral surface of the thallus near the growing point, which is followed by the development of several rhizoids. उसके बाद development of several rhizoids and mucilage slits. Ultimately, a new gametophytic plant body is formed or developed. Students, today we have complete the Anthosauros plants. In the next video, we will study the Funaria. Students, for this, first you view the video, then you study this chapter from any books, and again you view the video. So I think you will be understood about the chapter. चैप्टर सिंपल है, इतना कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं है भाई। गैमेटोफिटिक है, स्पोरोफिटिक है, तो ज़्यादा इसमें कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं है, तो ज़्यादा इसमें कोई घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। किसी भी बुक से एक बार पढ़िए, पहले तो वीडियो को देखिए, सुनिए ध्यान से कि क्या कह रहा हूँ, क्या पढ़ाया जा रहा है, इनके फिगर्स देखिए। उसके बाद फिर आप एक बार बुक पढ़िए, बुक चाहे कोई भी हो, जो भी कंसर्न इस प्लांट्स की, चाहे वो किसी भी पब्लिकेशन की हो, उससे पढ़िए। उसके बाद अगेन आप फिर वीडियो को देखिए, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। तो इसमें बस गैमेटोफिटिक है, स्पोरोफिटिक है। रही बात इसके अलावा जो तीसरा प्लांट्स, उसमें भी सिमिलर है। उसके अलावा जो इसकी इकोनॉमिक इम्पोर्टेंस है, क्लासिफिकेशन है, और इसके जनरल करेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं, वो भी इसके साथ साथ मैं कंप्लीट करा दूंगा। तो ओके, थैंक यू।